Bigfoot Bob here. Well, this is my trailhead. This is as far as the truck goes. This road has been closed with a log and a dirt pile across it. And right back there is the trail that heads back to Valley Forge and Camp Bigfoot. I've already got my Tops Dawn Warrior on my left hip and my Glock 20 on my right. And here's the rest of the stuff we're going to be packing back today. Got my genuine GI inland M1 carbine. So that's my little scout rifle, my 2-quart canteen, my little day pack, and my main pack that's got rest of my camera gear in it, tripod and such, and enough goodies to let me stay a couple of days out in the woods if I had to. Right down here next to this madrone tree is where we lose the trail. The trail continues on around there to the right for about another 15 paces and just kind of disappears into the woods anyway. But from right here, we are going to turn. We're going to go straight just a little farther longer to make sure we can stay on top of this ridge that goes across here. And then we're going to turn right, northeast. That's east, that's the sun. And as the bird flies, our Valley Forge area is about that way. This is a pic of the ridge, a view of the ridge that we're coming down, following to get to my jump off spot to head down to the clearing. And it's kind of easy to remember. When you're coming back, head due south, walk uphill. Okay? When you get to the top of the hill, don't go downhill. Go downhill, get lost. Or at least, as Davy Crockett used to say, I might confused for 2 or 3 weeks. Right next to this tree, where I have my rifle leaned, right at that spot on the ground, right there, is programmed into my GPS as a cell phone hotspot. That's the only spot around here I could find where my cell phone will work reliably, even though it's 1 bar. So really, let's not say reliably, but it will work. So I have that spot programmed to my GPS. So if I'm having problems and I don't really want to activate my locator beacon, if it's not really a true emergency, I can get to this spot or send somebody to this spot with my GPS to use the cell phone and let somebody know that we're having problems up here. Down here is what I call the main clearing of Valley Forge. It's quite big. It goes from down there up in this general area, is up in that corner that you can't really see, is Camp Bigfoot. Can't really see an awful long way today because the fog hasn't, it's still in the morning and the fog hasn't broken. But you can see the Pacific Northwest and how foggy it is. Just think, somewhere in that screen right there could be Bigfoot looking back at us. This is one of the prettiest views around here. I'm standing on a relatively flat spot. This is Valley Forge, the main clearing. You can see right in the video, look at that, game trails. A lot of game in this area. For all I know, that could be a Bigfoot trail, who's to say? Look at that fog. That is amazing. That still hasn't gotten old for me. The Pacific Northwest and the way the fog rolls over the mountains. Just as amazing. That's some deep woods there, I gotta tell you. This is where we camped last week, Camp Bigfoot. I'm standing beside the tree where my trail cam was at. It didn't really capture much here, much activity from what I can tell looking at the tiny little screen. Some weird streaks in the infrared in the night. I can only imagine it must have picked up somehow bats flying past it. Either that or it was visited by some kind of funky UFO, but there are some weird pictures in the infrared. And this is our source of water while we're at or near Camp Bigfoot. It's a mountain stream, beautiful crystal clear water. This is our source of water. It's basically melted snow water, snow off the Trinity Alps. And this entire little gorge here where this creek's at, it's got a real Jurassic Park feel to it. Bigfoot Bob here, and today I'm scouting a new campsite. Our old campsite that I called Camp Bigfoot is about maybe 150 yards to the south of us, across that creek over there. And this area here we found the last time we were out here. It's a glen of white oaks. It's a flat area, room for all kinds of stuff, from multiple tents to tarp shelters to anything else you want to put out here. So I'm going to take a look around today, and my dog's having a real good time, and I guess that's about it for now. If you notice when I was walking in, I am carrying my genuine GI M1 carbine. I always carry this along with the Glock 20 10mm I have on my hip. I am out here by myself, miles from the nearest logging road. There are no visible used trails or roads into this area, and it is a mountain valley, and there is definitely no cell phone coverage. So you can look at one of my other videos. It's called the PLB demo. I do carry a personal locator beacon by ACR. It's one of the good ones that actually works. Other than you have to be careful out here. You know, you're on your own. You always got to look out what's behind you. You know, you always got to, as they say, check your six. My dog just freaked out. Something fell out of that tree over there. You got to check your noon too, but always check what's behind you. You know, you just never know. What the? Bigfoot Bob here. You know, when you're out in the woods, you always need to keep in mind the rule of threes. Especially if it looks like it might be turning into a survival or emergency situation. The rule of threes states that you can live 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. So if you're not breathing, breathe. But in a survival situation, you know, if you realize you're going to have to spend a night in the woods, the last thing you should be worrying about is food. But, you know, while you're out looking for shelter, doesn't mean you have to pass up food if you see it. So always keep your eye out for food sources. You just never know, you know, you never know what you might run into. You know? Speaking of that, I just happened to glance over here. Perfect example of just keeping your eye open for food sources. I'll be right back. Look at this. This was just laying on the ground over there. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. Perfectly good, fresh turds. I mean, look at that. I mean, a lot of people don't realize how tasty fresh turds can be. Elk. I think it has berries in it. You know, like Crocodile Dundee said, it might taste like shit, but you can live on it. So anyway, I'm gonna shut the camera off now. I'm gonna load up, turn on the GPS, get my compass out, and I'm going to head due west down through those woods. And as long as I continue to head west, I should hit a logging road in about a mile that will take me back to where I'm parked. But if you find my bleached bones years from now, you will know that it did not end well. Well, I made it to the logging road. I gotta tell you, I need to learn to pay more attention to the topographical maps. But look at this. Now, I don't know if you can tell in the video or not, but that was like freaking 80 feet straight up on loose gravel, about. And as far as I scouted that way, and I scouted that way. This road runs on a ridge, or cut into a ridge. There was no way to get to it without climbing up that hill. Live and learn. I will not be coming this way again. Well, live and learn. I guess that's why they call it scouting. This is the way we went in. And I gotta tell you, this right here is the trail from hell. I scouted it once. I have no desire to do it again. More later, as my tired dog Ripley and I head down this trail. This is Bigfoot Bob, signing off. Always remember, never. Take two. This is Bigfoot Bob, signing off. Just remember, be careful what you step in, and always watch your six.